We are still very early into the year of 2024, just over 20 days into the first month, in fact, in January, and it seems like there have been more Nintendo Switch 2 reports and rumors ramping up than we've ever seen in the past. Many people, including myself, are expecting this console to both be revealed and launched this year, but recently, over the last 24 to 48 hours, there's been an actual retail listing from a verified retailer, mind you, that does list Nintendo Switch 2. However, we have to have a nuanced conversation about this because while some people are saying that this is pre-orders being officially confirmed and you can now pre-order the console yourself, and this means that Nintendo Switch 2 is 100% coming this year, well, there's more to the story than that because you technically can't give this retailer your money right now, hence pre-orders are not officially open for this thing. But on the other side of that coin, this could either one, be a retailer just getting ready for Switch 2 listings to go live, or two, be the fact that they have behind the scenes info that they need to get their project pages ready, and there is a separate source, although unverifiable, that is claiming that a couple Spanish retailers also received this info that they should be ready to go for some kind of next-gen Nintendo console soon, or at least that is what's being insinuated here, and we're going to get on the same page with all of these details. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here, and with that, we have to first hop over to our gaming leaks and rumors, where you can see the following post, which reads, Mecha Japan hobbyist export retailer has listed Nintendo Switch 2 for pre-order with a 2024 release window. Uncertain if this is something they've done themselves in anticipation of Switch 2 or if retailers are being informed of its existence. Now, you can then see the product page in question, and there is no image, obviously, it just says image not available. The description for the console reads console Nintendo Switch 2, more info to come. Product details does actually give us brand Nintendo and then a reference number specifically for this page, and interestingly enough, while you cannot pre-order it currently, as it says out of stock in the top right corner, you do have a notify me when available button, which will prompt you to put in an email address to be notified when this thing actually becomes available for pre-order. So as mentioned, this is a verified retailer and people have reported ordering products from their website and actually receiving them. So this is not some kind of complete scam corner of the internet type of website where you just lose all your money and get nothing for it. So we do have an actual retailer technically listing the Switch 2 for pre-order, albeit with the out of stock option, meaning that you can't give them any money for this thing. We don't have any kind of particular price point leak tied to this retail listing, but you do have a true up retail listing for Nintendo Switch 2. The big question is, did this retailer just decide to get ahead of all of the hype and maybe even direct some extra eyeballs to their website by listing this early, and they don't have any inside information from Nintendo and they are just choosing to do this entirely on their own? Well, that is very much on the table here, and that's what you have to realize with this conversation. This is not an official confirmation that Nintendo has told retailers to put out pre-orders or get them ready on their websites for an imminent reveal, although again, I am in the mindset that we are going to get the reveal and the pre-order pages going live sooner rather than later, and I believe it's happening this year in 2024, potentially as soon as March, but we'll dive into that in a second. But just having one standalone retailer at this point in time essentially going live with a placeholder page that anybody could in theory create. If you're some kind of product manager online, you would have the ability to name something Nintendo Switch 2, put a placeholder date for the end of the year, which is what this is showing. Kind of that same typical placeholder date you see for a game like Metroid Prime 4 that has just continued to get shifted around for its pre-order. Now granted, Metroid Prime 4 is in a different scenario because Nintendo has officially announced it, so you could technically pre-order this product for real, but it continues to get pushed back because we don't actually have a legit launch date, and many people were expecting the game to come out in 2023 just purely because the Amazon listing at one point showed December 31st, 2023. I think before that it showed 2022, so you get the idea. Normally retailers will put a placeholder date with the end of the day on the end of the year and just assume that it will come out in that said year. It doesn't actually give us any more good information to go off of on whether or not they know anything about the release date. This is just the retailer, a separate entity, creating their own page and getting things ready ahead of time, and that's what Mecha Japan is doing here. Where the conversation does get a little bit more interesting actually has to do with one of the friends of the channel, Andre's Restart, where he talked about in a video that I will have linked in the description down below, that a channel by the name of Nintendo Leaks, which I have not verified this channel at all, haven't followed them at all. They are a Spanish speaking channel and they do have a fairly large following online, and they recently uploaded a video at the same time that this Mecha Japan listing went online, claiming that they had heard from two of their own retail retail sources over in Spain, if I'm not mistaken, that they were being informed to get retail listings ready for Nintendo's next console, or that something big was coming from Nintendo soon and it would be exciting for Nintendo fans. Now, again, this is unverified rumor territory, but there is technically a different source saying retail listings are essentially ramping up and getting ready to go, and that they are being informed to do so by Nintendo. And then at the same time, we do see this Mecha Japan listing pop up. So is there a possibility that Mecha Japan just went live with their page too early? Absolutely. It's also not confirmed, and you cannot pre-order this thing currently. So I'll let you guys decide on whether or not you feel like this moves the needle for you anymore for that 2024 Nintendo Switch 2 conversation. But as I mentioned earlier, I am in firm belief that 2024 is the year we will absolutely see it revealed and more than likely also launched. The further into this year we get and the more reports we see coming out online, whether it be from actual game developers saying that they're working on Nintendo Switch 2 games, literally over 200 plus people surveyed from the Game Developers Conference are saying that they're developing games for this next gen hardware. We have companies all across the world reporting different kind of stock number increases because of providing parts for a Japanese game company's game console that hasn't been announced yet. Nintendo themselves are in a steep decline with Nintendo Switch sales, and it is just time after 7 full years to release what is next, or at least reveal it. Gamescom 2023 talk with targeted PC specs being shown off behind closed doors, and a number of developers saying that they're hearing something that's big in March, and that's kind of where I'm setting my eyes and expectations at this point in time. I'm going to be watching the month of March very closely for the potential of a Nintendo Switch 2 announcement, and I really think any time after the month of March, the floodgates entirely open. If it doesn't happen in March, it could drop at any time after that, and I am thinking that that September timeframe that we saw reported on by AI Shark, formerly Game Shark, while it might have been good information behind closed doors within the industry, or it might have been bad information and they're just guessing, like Andy Robinson said, it seems like a good guess either way. September may indeed be a month that Nintendo is really gearing up for a new console launch, and we might even be diving into another piece of information that could suggest that September is a big month for Nintendo in a separate video. But that's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, your personal thoughts and opinions around this new Mecha Japan listing for pre-orders that are currently out of stock for the Nintendo Switch 2. Do you think that this is Mecha Japan doing this on their own with no inside knowledge from Nintendo, or do you think Nintendo is starting to notify retailers out there, don't go live with these pages yet, but do get them ready for public pre-order, because we are gearing up over the next few months to actually reveal and announce this thing with an official price point? And do all these recent rumors and reports and findings sway your decision one way or the other if you think Nintendo is more likely to release the console this year in 2024, or at the very least reveal it? Or are you somebody who still thinks that it's much further out? I can't imagine how much further Nintendo could go with just the base model Switch, but I would love to hear your perspective if that's how you do feel. So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch the video on screen next if you haven't already. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.